So to start a new workbook, click the File menu, then New. Blank workbook is already selected by default. Click Create on the right. And now you're in a blank workbook. So to start setting things up, just start typing in your titles. And then start entering your data. I'm just making up those HST amounts, they're probably wrong. If you use the Tab key to move across, it's fast on the keyboard. And then you can use the Enter key, and that'll move you down to the next row. So the other thing that we talked about was formatting this as a table. So if you click in the top left cell, that highlights that cell, giving it a black background, and then use your keyboard to highlight the whole table. So you hold the Shift key down, and then you start tapping the arrow keys on the keyboard. So the right arrow taking you across, and the down arrow taking you down. And if you go too far, just press the up arrow. Keep holding the Shift key. Then when you've got it all selected, let go of the Shift key. Click on the Format as Table button at the top, and then pick the style that you like. It's going to ask you where the data is for your table, and if you had already selected it, it's going to be showing just like that with that Las Vegas style thing going around the outside of it. And then if your table has headers, make sure that that check mark is in there. My table has headers. And then click OK. So now it's formatted as a table. And you've got these drop-down boxes that allow you to sort by the different columns, and also to be able to filter. You'll see down at the bottom there. Now, to add the total, I'm going to click in the cell that I want the total to be in. And I've got to make sure that I go back to the home menu at the top so that I can find the auto sum button. So that's this button right here. And when I click that, oh, actually I'm going to back up a step. I'm going to press escape, because that's not what I want to do in this field. In this field I want to, actually it is. Sorry, go back, auto sum. So what it does is it puts that Vegas style thing around the fields that it thinks you want to add up. And if that's correct, you just press enter. Because you had this already formatted as a table, it just assumed you wanted that same formula to be copied down. Now, if I want grand totals at the bottom, I'm just going to highlight the cells that I want those grand totals in. So I'm going to click on the first one, and then go to my keyboard and hold the Shift key down and press the right arrow so I can select all three of those cells. And then I'll click Auto Sum button again, and it created those totals for me. Now if you want to make these all have 2 decimal points, just highlight the cells. So I'm holding Shift and using my arrow keys. And then use these increase decimal buttons at the top, or this button. So that took it to 1 decimal place, and I'll hit it again, and that put them all to 2 decimal places. Now if I want to add more rows, I have to point to this little blue square or corner in the bottom right corner. So you see I have a white cross right now. And when I get to that corner, I get that diagonal shaped arrow with the two arrowheads. That's what I want in order to expand this table. So I click and hold that with the mouse and I drag it down. And then that just created a whole bunch of empty rows for me to carry on and enter more information. And so on. Now to save that, I'll click File, Save. And then I'll just go to wherever I want to save it. So it's going to put it in my Documents folder. And I'll just call it Gas Receipts. And then I'll click Save. And that's it. Now, if I want to close that spreadsheet, I can click File and Close. So that closes that one, and now I'm sitting on a blank one. To open it again, I'll click File, and then with Recent highlighted, I'll click Gas Receipts. And that's it.